To keep control of the coronavirus, you need to spot and then clamp down on outbreaks as soon as possible. And here's the small device that's helping scientists do it. Viruses have genes, just like humans do, and a few years ago you needed a big machine to look at them. Today you can do it with something this tiny, and here it is. This is the genome of the coronavirus being read. Alex is part of a team that spent months doing genetic detective work, comparing the genes of hundreds of virus samples from sick people.
And now it's really started ramping up. We go 2 a week, 10 a week, sometimes 10 over the weekend, 10 a day, even on a busy time.
If a group of people in the same hospital or workplace have an identical version of the coronavirus with the same genetic code, they almost certainly caught it from each other. That's an outbreak. If the genetic codes are different, they all caught it elsewhere.
Public health experts, they'll get in touch with us, say what they're looking for. We'll get those samples, get them in as soon as we can. And within 24 hours, we hope to have the answer. Is it an outbreak? Is it all the same thing moving around? Or have there been multiple introductions from outside where different people have brought it in?
They've tested more samples in the east of England than they have in most countries around the world, finding 100 different genetic types or lineages in Norfolk alone. Most traceable back to Italy, Spain and France, not Asia. And they've investigated potential outbreaks at a hospital in Ipswich and a chicken factory in Norfolk.
And what we found was that in the chicken factory, all the viruses that we sequenced were the exact same. So that meant that the virus was moving from one person to another in the factory or within that community that works in the factory. When we looked in the hospital, what we found was that there were multiple different types of the virus, different lineages of the virus in the hospital. And they were similar to the lineages that we saw in the Ipswich community. So that meant that those viruses were coming in with the people who were sick with them, and they were not transmitting in the hospital. And that meant that the infection control measures were working appropriately, and the hospital didn't need to worry about that.
UK labs are leading the world in this genome work. As the virus springs back, it'll be a key weapon in fighting outbreaks. Richard Westcott, BBC News, Norwich.